Today, we'll dive into one of the most staggering gambling losses in history, the $127 million losing streak of Terrance Watanabe in Las Vegas. Using our proprietary analytical framework called Paradox of Losing Cycle, we will break down what went wrong and how speculative betting led to this colossal downfall. Terrance Watanabe, a wealthy businessman, lost a mind-blowing $127 million in Las Vegas between 2007 and 2009. A high roller who inherited Oriental Trading Company in 2000, Watanabe sold his entire stake in the company and subsequently lost most of his fortune gambling in Las Vegas. So he took approximately $127 million to Las Vegas and lost this amount over the course of about a year. His losses occurred mainly at two casinos, Caesars Palace and the Rio. So, let's unpack this using our specialized analytical framework, Paradox of Losing Cycle, that examines the risk of ruin due to speculative betting. So let's get started. Now let's delve into the factors that likely contributed to his losses using our proprietary analytical framework called Paradox of Losing Cycle. The first factor that we will be analyzing is his risk management. First up, risk management, or rather the lack thereof. Watanabe's betting style was extremely aggressive. He frequently wagered about $50,000 per hand on games like blackjack and baccarat. Our analysis suggests that high volatility in speculative betting without proper risk controls leads to a higher probability of substantial losses. For instance, there were sessions where Watanabe is believed to have lost over $1 million in a single night. The sheer size of his bets meant that even short streaks of bad luck could result in enormous losses. So in gambling, especially with high stakes, it's crucial to set limits and manage risks carefully. Number two, emotional control. Emotional control in gambling in Vegas is designed to play on emotions, the thrill of winning and the despair of losing. Watanabe's losses often led him to chase after losses, a common pitfall known as the gambler's fallacy. One notable incident was when Watanabe, after a significant loss, reportedly increased his bets dramatically in a desperate attempt to recover his money, only to lose even more. So our proprietary framework highlights that emotional decision-making in high-stakes environments can trigger a downward spiral, exacerbating the losing cycle. Watanabe's inability to maintain emotional control likely meant his decisions were often irrational and desperate. Number three, playing frequency. So another crucial factor was Watanabe's playing frequency. He spent hours each day at the tables, increasing his exposure to the house edge and the risks associated with high-frequency betting. Watanabe was known to play for up to 24 hours straight without taking breaks. Playing frequently increases the statistical certainty that the house edge will manifest. Over long periods, the house edge ensures that the casino will win. His continuous play without breaks likely meant he never gave himself a chance to step back and evaluate his situation rationally. Risky betting strategies. Risky betting strategies further impaired Watanabe's decision-making. By making large, aggressive bets, he not only increased his potential for quick losses, but also intensified the psychological stress of each decision. During one particularly intense session, Watanabe's losses reportedly mounted rapidly as he kept doubling down on his bets, hoping for a turnaround that never came. This risk amplification likely made it harder for him to maintain rational control, leading to progressively poor decision-making. Illusion of control. Watanabe also appeared to suffer from the illusion of control. believing that his personal skill could influence the outcome of games primarily driven by chance. For example, he often believed he had a system for winning at Baccarat, despite the game being largely based on luck. This cognitive bias likely led him to take on even greater risks, falsely confident that his actions could alter the probabilities in his favor. Influence of alcohol. Playing under the influence of alcohol further impaired Watanabe's decision making abilities. Casinos often provide complimentary drinks to high rollers, and alcohol can significantly reduce a gambler's ability to think clearly and make sound decisions. Watanabe was frequently seen drinking heavily while gambling. Alcohol impairs judgment, increases risk taking behavior, and can lead to poor decision making. His heavy drinking while gambling likely contributed to his inability to manage his losses and make rational choices. Escalation of commitment. Escalation of commitment is another key factor. After experiencing losses, Watanabe likely felt compelled to continue betting in an attempt to recover his money, leading to even greater losses. This sunk cost fallacy was evident when Watanabe would lose significant sums and then double down, thinking he was due for a win to recoup his losses. This dangerous psychological trap can lead to catastrophic financial consequences. Overconfidence. Overconfidence played a significant role. Watanabe's initial wealth may have led him to believe he could sustain prolonged losses and eventually come out ahead, underestimating that statistical advantage held by the house. The overconfidence was seen in his consistent high stakes bets, believing he had the financial resilience to weather any storm. This likely blinded him to the real risks and contributed to his massive losses. Intermittent reinforcement. Intermittent reinforcement, where occasional wins encourage continued play, also played a part. This psychological principle is potent in gambling, as the occasional win can make gamblers believe a big win is just around the corner. Watanabe often experienced small wins that kept him playing, hoping for a bigger win. This kept him at the tables, continually feeding money into the casinos despite mounting losses. Game design. The design of casino games themselves is engineered to keep players engaged and betting. Flashing lights, exciting sounds, and the immediate feedback of wins and losses create an immersive experience that's hard to walk away from. These design elements likely manipulated Watanabe's psychological triggers, keeping him hooked and betting longer than he should have. Casino environments are meticulously crafted to maintain player engagement and maximize spending. Lastly, the dopamine effects of gambling. The dopamine effects of gambling cannot be overstated. The thrill of winning releases dopamine, the brain's pleasure chemical, which reinforces the gambling behavior and makes it addictive. Watanabe's brain was likely constantly seeking the next dopamine hit, driving him to continue betting despite substantial losses. The rush of dopamine from a win creates a powerful addiction loop, making it difficult to stop. So, in summary, Terrance Watanabe's $127 million loss can likely be attributed to a combination of poor risk management, lack of emotional control, delusion of control, playing under the influence, escalation of commitment, overconfidence, intermittent reinforcement, game design, and the dopamine effects of gambling. His story serves as a stark reminder of the dangers of speculative betting. Beyond these factors, it's important to recognize the personal toll such losses can take. Watanabe's case highlights how financial ruin can be accompanied by emotional and psychological distress. Understanding these factors can help others avoid similar pitfalls. So, guys, thanks for watching. This was our state-of-the-art analytical framework we have developed, offers invaluable insights into the paradox of losing cycles. By adopting and applying these principles, individuals can manage the risks of gambling more effectively and manage the risk of ruin, potentially avoiding the devastating financial and emotional impacts that speculative betting can bring. Stay informed, stay disciplined, and always approach gambling with a greater caution. This has been Paradox of Losing Cycle. See you in the next videos. Cheers.